just come into the boat this morning and it's actually quite chilly outside, but coming in here is quite nice and warm. So yeah, the insulation is definitely paying off. Chuffed with that. We did one coat on all 5 of the panels last night that we've got, so it's quite patchy in places. But like we said, this is the back side, so it's not really going to make too much of a difference for us, as long as it's just got some protection. The plan for this morning is going to put a second coat on all of these, let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go for a walk with the dog, and then come back once they're dried a little bit, and I'm going to start making the frame for the water tank so that we can have shelving and storage around it without putting pressure on it. So yeah, that's the plan for this morning. So I've just scraped the last of the tin to get the last little bit of varnish out, and I was able to just do 2 coats on one side of each of the 5 sheets we've got. They're a little bit rough, but managed to get the majority of it covered, and it should do a good job. I've also done some of the edges, and I'll make sure we touch up some more of the exposed edges when they get mounted on the wall. We're not going to varnish the other side until they go on the wall, because I'll need to filler in all of the screw holes as they go in, and then varnish on top of that anyway. So we'll do all that once they're up on the walls. But for now, that's me done in here for the minute. I'm going to take the dog for a walk, pick up some more stuff. I need a blade for my circular saw for plywood, and then we're going to start on making the frame for the water tank. So we're going to have to shift everything off of there, and then yeah, and then we'll start on that. We want some varnish, Pop. Can't find it. We've got none left. We want that one. We want that one, and they've got any. Where's it all gone? So, just following on from sort of the bits I've said so far, I just thought I'd try and clarify what we're actually doing with the water tank. So, currently we have 2 major issues. I say major issue, but we have 2 things with the water tank that we need to fix. As you'll see from the video, it's currently loose in position. It's just been shoved under the front deck, kind of where it will fit, and it's a little bit wobbly, just trying to find the best position for it. So what we need to do is we need to secure that in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to, as you see the strips of wood that I've got lying on the floor, they're going to sort of form a frame around the water tank, and they're going to help to stop it from moving. The next sort of job that we're doing is the water tank itself is really big. It's actually bigger than any hole in the boat that's currently in it. It was put in before the sides of the boat were put on, so we want, if there was ever an issue with it, we would have to cut it out, get it removed, and we could only get a smaller water tank, or we'd have to get it somehow welded inside the boat. So we want to try and protect the water tank as much as we can. So instead of building our bed directly on it, even though it's made of stainless steel, it's quite strong, we're going to build a big frame around the water tank. This is also going to have some other purposes, so it'll give us a storage space underneath our bed where it can be on top of the water tank, and also we're going to put a lot of insulation around the water tank because it is quite a large tank of sort of potentially quite cold water that's going to be in the boat, so it's going to be a prime spot for condensation to gather. So we want to put around as much insulation as we can, just so we stop any potential mold or damp issues occurring around the tank, and in order to do that we're going to need to build a frame around it. So the purpose of this is to 1, secure the water tank, and 2, build a frame that we can then build our bed, bedside tables and other stuff from as well. So that's what we're doing by sort of building this. I do the starting work on the water tank, so I'll build sort of the frame as it goes around so far with a little bit of sort of the upwork, and then Amy takes off and she finishes the rest of it, and she does an absolutely amazing job. She's filmed a lot of that over on her TikTok, and I believe it's already up there, so if you want to see what's going on with the water tank and get a sneak peek of the sort of future, you can have a look on there, and yeah, leave a comment and give us some support over there, because she's doing an amazing job. She's doing much better than me than the editing side of things. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and hopefully that sort of adds in a little bit as to why we're doing this with the water tank. Princess has joined us now. I did try to put her bed on the stern, but she wasn't having it. She wanted to be here, and she still doesn't like the stairs. We'll get there with her, but she really doesn't like them at the minute, so she's not quite going up and down them. Although she did for our cruise, but I think that was just because it was worse in here without us than out there with us. So, but she'll get there. Anyway, so yeah, I've got five in now of these up stands. So these will stand up, and then there'll be bars across the top. I'll reinforce the corners, and yeah, we'll have hopefully something fairly sturdy. However, this pocket hole jig I've got. So I've not really talked about what a pocket hole jig is. So this is a pocket hole jig, and what it's designed to do is for drilling really shallow holes that can be used to secure wood in sort of an upright position. So it's got two holes on here and this fancy drill bit that goes in, and it's going to drill down in that really sharp angle and create two holes in the wood that we can then put a couple of screws through and attach it into the wood. But this was fairly cheap off Amazon, and yeah, as you can see in the next little clip, it doesn't work that well. The angle that it comes in at is so shallow. It's hard to do with one hand. Yeah, you can see here, it's so shallow where it comes in. It really doesn't leave a lot of material, especially here. Doesn't leave a lot of material on the wood, and as you can see, there's some places where it's almost blown the wood out completely, and there's one where it's basically not doing anything. It's just, so yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but all that's meant to do is just to hold them upright. We're gonna put some extra support and reinforcement in. This just holds them in place while we build the rest of that. So not too much of a concern. I'm gonna get them all in that way, and then what I've done on this one, and I might do on the rest, is I've gone in the side with a screw. I would drill a pilot hole next time because I've cracked the wood, but yeah, and just to give it a little bit more security. But yeah, we'll see as we go. It's all a learning experience. I've not really done much carpentry before, so we'll figure out as we go, I guess. And so a slight pause in works for a second because Amy came home, so it was nice to see her. And when we were in Wickes, I bought some of the little chain link things so she could fit the front fender that we found. She was filming that while she was doing it, and unfortunately her phone that she got on Tuesday, and today is Saturday, she fell it and she dropped it in the canal. So she went in after it. Luckily she's got it, but Amy's just gone to get a shower. Bless her. And we did try and fish it out with a net, but it was just as easy just to get it out. So yeah, the phone seems fine, but yeah, she's gone for a shower. She's okay. And yeah, and then I'm gonna get back to this while she rinses off. But oh, bless her, you can't make this stuff. Unfortunately, she was close to filming, but actually didn't have a camera rolling, so don't get to see it going in. But yeah, luckily we got it back, and more importantly, no one's hurt. So that's good. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to doing this. So yeah. So we ran out of wood to continue doing the water tank boxing in, so decided to start looking at the walls, which are going to be the next sort of part of the job, getting the ply walls on, and then we can start putting the pipe work, the electrics and everything else, and really start bringing the boat together. Unfortunately for this clip, I have lost my audio, so this is just a little bit of a recap of what I've done so far. As you can see, Eva is helpful as always. She's right in the corner. She actually blends quite well with the insulation whilst I'm looking back at it. But yeah, so what we're going to use the ply for, as I've sort of touched on, is it's going to be what everything else mounts to, but we're also going to use it to conceal a lot of the electrics and a lot of the pipework and stuff. So on our current boat, we have all of the pipework is actually on the outside of the ply, and then it's boxed in. So there's sort of like a 4-inch box of wood that runs along the floor when the sofa or the cupboards aren't there, and that's where all the pipes and stuff go. We want to avoid that as much as possible. So what we're going to do is, as you'll see, the top section is going to come down to about here, and then the back section of ply is going to meet up here, and then what we'll do is we'll have a channel down the back, and that's where a lot of the cables and everything is going to go. So that's just sort of an idea of how we're going to do it, but it'll come together, it'll make more sense in future videos. Amy came back from a shower looking a lot better than she did when she left after having had a dip in the canal. So yeah, we pretty much stopped working there for the evening. We'd done a fair bit, and as I say, Amy finishes off the water tank in some of her TikTok videos, so you can find her over there. But Eva told us it was time to get cozy, so yeah, we stopped there for the night. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.